Hey everyone, and welcome back to episode 2 of the Studio 47 Ultimate Survival Forever World Let's Play. In the last episode, we toured my main survival village, which was the culmination of some 5 years of casual Minecraft play. It was my home, it was my comfort, it was my base of operations, but eventually it became time to move out. Today, we're taking a look at the next key build in this world. What started out as a blank canvas turned into one of my most fun and useful projects to date. This is Meadowhelm, a village transformation, castle build, iron farm, and so much more. Without further ado, let's get into the build. So, the primary functionality that this area was needed for was iron production. Having built the entire survival village without a beacon, it became the obvious next step to increase resource gathering efficiency. I knew that I would need haste too if I wanted to continue making progress in the world efficiently, so I wanted to start producing enough iron for as many beacons as I could ever need. Since I was starting to experience writer's block and burnout on the starter village, I sort of lost motivation and lacked the inspiration to move forward. So I thought this was the perfect opportunity to break ground on a new area. So I revisited a location I found during some of my early travels in the world, a hill which spoke out to me from the Minecraft gods like they were demanding I built a castle on top of it. So with a plains biome below and a village, I also envisioned trying my first official village transformation. So from there, with lofty plans for the largest project I have ever embarked on, I began construction. Since iron production was an immediate need, I got right down to business and started with building the iron farm. I placed it right at the center of town, which worked perfectly. It was constantly running in the background as I continued to work, and now I have a suitable stockpile of iron ready to go. At the time, I thought it made sense to put this farm here in the town center where the path blocks could be blended into the town's design, but I'm also starting to think that moving it up to the castle where it's out of sight and out of mind might make even more sense. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But either way, overall, I'm super happy to know that whenever I need some iron, I'm flying over here and taking in some of these awesome views. Moving on from here, we'll take a look at my base of operations here in Meadowhelm. It's nothing special, but I'd classify it as a barn dominium, and it has all the basic necessities including storage, crafting, beds, and everything else you could think of. It's not fancy, but it makes up for that in functionality. So we've got some light interior design going on, but most importantly, it's where I store all my iron. And luckily, I'm already in a position where I have more than I know what to do with. But this is really exciting because now I know that I have more than enough to help me make as much progress as possible on all future mega builds. So now if we zoom out a bit, we can take a look at the village as a whole. As you can see, it runs along a river with 2 bridges leading away from the town. Also along the river is another one of my cobblestone church builds with blue stained glass that helps spice things up. If we back up and take a look at the main street of the village, we'll see many houses and buildings. Most are empty, but I eventually plan to fill them with villagers for trading. The main street culminates in the largest structure in the town. I haven't decided what should be used for yet, maybe a grand library? But on the opposite side of town, the main street terminates where I eventually plan to add some animal pens. What's really interesting about this village build is that all these buildings were built at the same time using a new method and framework that I've been thinking about and wanting to try. It ended up working really well and allowed me to build a lot of houses quickly and easily. As you can see, the color palette is a combination of oak wood and some different stone blocks. But my building style is definitely rooted in playing old school Minecraft before there were so many block options, and when creating depth was the best way to create detail. And in my opinion, it still is. Like I said, this system worked out really well, and it doesn't involve any cheats or tricks, but it allowed me to build a lot and very quickly. So if you're curious about these techniques and these methods, let me know down below, and maybe I can make a video going into further detail. Now, if we make our way back to the town center and take a look in this direction, we'll find the farmland, open plains, and the road leading away from town. I really like how these abstract, natural-looking wheat farms turned out, but one of my favorite parts of this entire area is just this road. Walking along it sets the player up with some amazing sightlines of the castle from this valley down below. There isn't much here now, but this whole area may one day be filled with farmland and different buildings. I have a bunch of different options and ideas floating around in my head, but let me know down below if you have any of your own. This area is still in its infancy, so you definitely won't want to miss where we go from here. And at this point, I think we've covered everything having to do with the village transformation, and now it's time to take a closer look at what everyone has been waiting for, the castle on the hill. This was by far one of the most satisfying builds I've ever experienced. I had a rough idea in my head, and the way that it came to life almost blew my expectations away. I was going for a Gothic style, something that would complement the iron production vibes of the town. As you walk up to the castle, you are met with multiple dauntingly tall towers facing the front, and as you walk through the gate and through the entrance, you'll make your way into the throne room. Inside, you'll see the glass fragments that remain from the stained glass sky roof that used to lay above. This detail helps add lore and energy to the build, making it feel real and lived in. There are some rooms carved out, some decorative floors and details, and some secrets yet to be revealed, but the castle is still unfinished. I wanted the castle to feel like it's been sitting there for hundreds of years. I was super happy to figure out how to accomplish this. As you can see, a lot of windows are missing glass, and that was done on purpose. It gives the castle a much more ominous and serious vibe in the world than otherwise. Overall, I couldn't be more happy with this castle build. I definitely think it's a step up from my last castle, and it accomplishes things that I wasn't able to accomplish in previous attempts. Between the scale of it, the block palette, and the overall design, it's definitely a castle I'll never forget. It has left me even more inspired and excited to take on new challenges. But most importantly, it's an iconic landmark in my Ultimate Survival Forever world, and its legend will continue to grow as we make progress and improve this area. In my opinion, this village still feels incomplete. Despite this, it has some of the coolest sightlines I could have imagined, and they're only going to get better. I have a ton of cool plans for how to expand this area, making it even more functional and beautiful, so I hope you stick around to see what happens. Thank you so much for watching. This was my Ultimate Survival Forever World Let's Play, Episode 2, and now you've seen my original starter village and my current progress on this Ultimate Iron Farm village transformation build. If you'd like to see more of this project or others, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below.